Hello everyone, thank you for visiting our YouTube channel. We hope you enjoy the video, forget the daily worries and fatigue, and start your day with positive energy. Now let's dive into the content of the video. 90% of women cheatium. Looking for real-world friends around me, and the answer is yes. Hurry up and love your best friend to study together. These changes involve the nervous system, endocrine system, circulatory system, and the muscular system. Together, they form a unique body sensation. The regulatory response of the brain's nervous system, the amygdala and the limbic system with fog and the region. There is a significant release of neurotransmitters, in particular increased levels of dopamine, partial functional area activity in the prefrontal cortex, temporarily inhibited state, and the sensory cortex improved. Processing efficiency of tactile information synchronous. Regulation of autonomic function in hypothalamic regions promote sympathetic and parasympathetic alternate switching of neural activity. These neural activities trigger specific changes in the state of consciousness and affect emotion regulation mechanisms, the nerves of the brain. Plasticity is exhibited in this process, periodic adaptation characteristics. The strength of the protruding connection adjusts. Dynamic low long-term enhancement effect. It's observed in certain neural pathways. Glial cells participates in the regulation of the nerve cell microenvironment, maintain ion balance, and neurotransmitter concentration nerves. In the hippocampus, activity may be temporarily affected. It's associated with the memory consolidation process. Changes in activity patterns in the posterior and posterior cortex linked to self-perception and bodily intention processing, release of neuroregulatory peptides. Characteristic: change of spectrum neuropeptides such as FART substance involved in the modulation of pain modulation pathways. The endogenous opioid peptide system is activated glutamic nerve cells and high. The balance of the nerve cells fluctuates effects. Overall neural excitability changes in these chemical signals. It is time dependent. Forms specific spatiotemporal patterns of neural activity autonomic nerve. The adjustment of the system presents a phased feature sympathetic. Tension first boost, then weakened parasympathetic activity showed the opposite trend, and these fluctuations in autonomic balance affect the functional status of multiple internal organs, integrative functions of central autonomous neural networks. During this period, they exhibit adaptive regulation characteristics, adaptive changes in the cardiovascular system, peripheral blood vessel, especially the pelvic area. There's a dramatic dilation of the blood vessels. Significant increase in blood flow, staged enhancement of myocardial contractility. New output increases accordingly, temporary. Changes in the distribution of blood in the body. Blood pressure showed a change curve of first rising and then recovering vascular. Endothelial function is activated. These changes enhance the metabolic activity of local tissues at the same time ensure the redistribution of blood supply throughout the body. Release patterns of vasoactive substances. Characteristic: changes occur enhanced. Nitric oxide synthase activity increased. Release of pranicline decreased, endophyllin secretion. These changes together promote vascular smooth muscle relaxation, reduce peripheral vascular resistance, changes in the blood flow characteristics of the microcirculatory system, increased number of open capillaries, tissue perfusion improvement, temporary adjustment in cardiac electrophysiological characteristics, enhanced self-discipline of bridal section. The rate of sexual intercourse may change a cardiomedia action. Potentials fluctuate, no corresponding changes occur over time. Adaptive changes in blood characteristics, enhanced deformability of red blood cells, decreased platelet aggregation, plasma viscosity may change. These changes help to improve microcirculation. Perfusion promote tissue nucleation, mobilization of vascular endothelial cells may increase participate in the vascular endothelial maintenance process. Coordinated Activities of the muscular system, skeletal muscle system, particularly the pelvic floor. Muscles produce specific movement patterns, rhythmic tension changes in smooth muscle fibers. The striated muscles range from tension to the complete cycle of relaxation, eocontrixtin, Gorky temporary adjustment, and organ sensitivity, improved signal. Transmission efficiency of neuromuscular junction muscle energy metabolism pathways are activated synchronous. Activation of lactate clearance mechanisms. These muscle group activities helps maintain functional status of specific parts of the body muscle. Fiber type recruitment patterns exhibit characteristic changes. Activation of fast and slow muscle fibers. Sequence and proportion are adjusted, increased. Synchronization of motion units. Changes in the mechanical properties of muscle contraction peak. Tension and contraction rate exhibit specific changes. Pattern is coming. Calcium release and weight temporary change and uptake efficiency effects. Muscle contraction dynamics. Adaptive adjustment of blood muscle metabolic state. Enhanced glycolysis pathway. Active antiglandular stereoxidation DRAM phosphorylation. Efficiency and accelerated glycogen decomposition. Lactate production and clearance reach a new equilibrium. Improved muscle microcirculation. Improved matching of oxygen supply and demand. These metabolic changes supports the continuous movement of muscles. Increased sensitivity of the proprioceptive system during this period. Changes in the frequency of contractile afferent nerve discharges. Increased efficiency of feedback regulation of the Golgi key organs. These changes optimize the accuracy of motor control. Enhanced body perception. Acuity of joint position and kinesthesia may be temporarily increased. Modulation of chemical signals in the endocrine system. The pituitary gland releases specific peptides. Affects the function of multiple white organs. The secretion rhythm of adrenal corticosteroids occurs. Temporary changes. Adjustment of the rate of thyroxine metabolism. Synthesis of gonadal-related hormones. Volatile state with release. Short-term changes in insulin sensitivity. These endocrine changes can further affect multiple organs throughout the body. Functional state of the system forming a complete physiological regulatory circuit. Activity pattern of the hypothalamic pituitary axis. Characteristic adjustment occurs. Changes in the secretion probability of prohormone releasing factors affect the function of the downstream glands. Growth hormone secretion pulse may be enhanced. Changes in the release pattern of prolactin. These changes participate in the regulation of systemic metabolic state and energy balance. Adrenal glands, water quality, and corticosteroid secretion show dynamic changes, and the release of dark matter as change-glucocorticoid pulses are secretion characteristic adjustments. These changes affect activity levels of the systemic stress response system, participate in energy mobilization and distribution processes. Temporary adjustment of pancreatic endocrine function, insulin, and changes in the secretion ratio of hyperglycemia affect the dynamic balance of glucose metabolism. The release pattern of gastrointestinal hormones may change simultaneously, involved in the regulation of digestive and absorptive functions. These changes together maintain the metabolic homeostasis of the internal environment. These systemic changes together constitute a 25-year-old female unique pattern of physiological responses between systems through a network of neurohumoral regulation to achieve precise cooperation. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to watch the latest videos. Goodbye and see you in the next video.